guys, I'm
What's up?
David.
I'm Dylan.
We're the Wet Rats, and today we're here to talk about our favorite things of 2016. Now, clarify on that. These are our favorite things. We're not saying these are the best things.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Officially here, this is the Rat Award Show.
Yeah.
These are the best of the best of the best. If it's not on this list, it's bullshit.
If it's not
Fuck
certified wet, fuck it.
Yeah, that's true. We're going to be doing certified wet or certified dry, so stay tuned
Yeah.
for that.
Mhm.
We've got 4 major categories today.
And 3 small categories.
And 3 small categories. First major category is going to be best movie.
Mhm.
Dylan, what's the first minor category?
Tomatoes, fruit or vegetable.
That's going to be category number 2. Then we're going to do best album of the year. That's our next major one.
Mhm.
Dylan, next minor.
Trump, did he really win?
Find out. Who knows? You will soon.
Yeah.
So will we. We're going to find out ourselves. Neither of us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Next major category after that will be best show of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Then minor category after that,
Best smell of the year.
best smell of the year. What could it be? You guys try to get your predictions ready now. It's going to be a tough call. Finally, we're going to close up with best video game of the year, since I think that's going to be our longest one to discuss, because the others are fucking easy, because nothing came out this year that we like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we hate everything.
We do.
And watch the show as we will discuss all the things that we liked and didn't like. We're also going to be doing worst. Just the worst.
Just the worst
what
thing.
was just the worst? The one
Mhm.
number one worst thing.
Yeah.
We'll do that in the middle of the show somewhere.
Mhm.
Let's start with best movie.
Okay.
Now, the way we're going to do this is we're just going to talk about like some that we saw that we might have liked, just a couple, and then we'll discuss our best one. Do we have the same best one?
I think we literally have the same thing for everything, but probably
Probably
shows.
album. Well, album. Or are we doing the same album?
Yeah,
We
I think
might
my
have
album's
the
the
same
same as your album.
All right, great. So, aren't you glad you tuned into this show where we're going to have all kinds of different
So many
opinions
different
here?
opinions in this
It's definitely
discussion.
not an echo chamber of bullshit.
Mhm.
So let's talk about a couple movies that we did like this year, though, before we get to our number one.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
10 Cloverfield Lane was
great movie.
a great movie.
Great movie.
It's a small movie, but
Mhm.
not in a bad way.
Mhm.
Great science fiction, great thriller.
Mhm.
A lot of people, I think, kind of didn't like the ending. I don't know about a lot of people. Some people didn't
Some people
like
didn't
the
like
ending
ending. Sure.
because they thought it maybe jumped the shark or was a little too
Right,
out of left field.
right.
I thought, I agree, it does come kind of out of left field, but I thought in the coolest way, where it's just like, fuck it, we're going here, and I was
Yeah,
like, fuck it,
yeah.
let's go there. So
I
I
hope
really
they do
loved
more.
it.
I hope they do like more anthological type stuff like this.
Yeah, if you can get some more just small filmmakers to
Mhm.
just do weird science fiction projects in that
and just
series,
call it Cloverfield something.
yeah, that's
cool.
fucking
Yeah.
awesome. Let's do that.
Mhm.
I also think that might have maybe my favorite performance of the year. I know that's not one of our categories, but I thought John Goodman as the
I thought he was
villain
really good.
he was terrifying, and like I just thought that was a cool role reversal for him, since he
Yeah.
was usually like the soft dad.
He's a good dad.
He's a good dad. In this one, he was a bad dad.
John Good Dad.
He didn't get a dad win in this
He's
one.
not good dad win. Dad
But
lost.
yeah,
Yeah.
that movie was great. What else? What other movies?
See, this kind of where it sucks because there's
We haven't
probably
seen
a lot
a
of
lot
good
of
movies,
movies.
but we just didn't see a lot of movies this year.
A lot of the movies that a lot of people are buzzing about right now kind of either haven't come out or haven't come out wide release. Like we both really want to see like La La Land and Moonlight, I think, and like a few others, but can't really see them yet. And also Rogue One hasn't come out. Maybe that would be really good.
Yeah,
I
Rogue One came out tonight, but we didn't go see it.
Yeah.
Surprising Mall wasn't more packed
Yeah.
for that, honestly.
Fantastic Beasts came out. I
I
never
haven't
heard
seen
if that was good.
My
I
sister
never heard
saw it,
anybody
and
say if that was good.
I heard it. My sister said she thinks it'd be a movie I would really, really like.
Okay.
So we'll find out. I'm gonna watch that probably this weekend when I go home, or this week. So we'll see. I'll watch both Rogue One and that this weekend.
Yeah, but other than that, I didn't really see a lot. I mean, we both saw the new Star Trek, and we both enjoyed it, but it was
Not
just a passable.
It was passable
It was
movie,
fun.
yeah.
It was a fun time. But like, if you didn't see Star Trek, you didn't really miss out.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Other than that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did that come out?
The Witch came out this year. Yeah.
I haven't. I still haven't seen it. Same thing with Neon Demon. I haven't. Also haven't seen it.
Oh, I did see The Conjuring 2, which came out this year, and I
Okay.
really liked The Conjuring 2. It's not my favorite of the year, but I really liked it. I thought that was one of the better horror sequels probably ever.
Right.
Not that that's saying a lot, because horror sequels usually suck.
Right.
But it was a really good horror sequel. Not to say that it's not good.
Yeah.
Other than that, we both saw Hardcore Henry.
We did. That
Which-
was this year.
Which,
yeah.
you know what? Wild card pick for
Yeah.
just a fun movie.
Yeah.
Not good, not great, but fun as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why that movie didn't get fucking 8s and 9s. It doesn't deserve it.
No.
But, like, if you just, like, maybe want to have a couple drinks, maybe you're hanging out with friends, you just want to throw something on that's just fucking ridiculous, check out Hardcore Henry. I think that's a movie that is worth checking out. If you don't watch it, not a big deal. Don't watch it expecting a great story with twists and great characters.
Just expect a movie that had a concept and it executed that concept.
Yeah, if you're a fan of, like, 70s and 80s action movies like Commando, or honestly anything Schwarzenegger was in, other than like a couple, like, you know, some stand out as actual good movies.
Yeah.
But just like that silly, or like Stallone movies, that silly kind of like goofy genre, but you think, what would this be like from a new perspective?
Right.
Hardcore Henry's, I think, right in that vein of that level of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about the actual best movie of the year. And again, we didn't see a bunch, but you know what? Since this is the way we're doing it, fuck everything we didn't see. If we didn't see it, that's because it sucks.
Right. So
this is the only movie that matters.
The Secret Life of Pets.
Secret Life of Pets. Oh, I thought we were on the same page.
I
was going to say Bridget Jones's Baby.
Oh, shit. Well, I guess we have different opinions.
Fuck.
Sorry, guys.
Bridget Jones's Baby was the wettest movie I've ever seen.
It's pretty wet.
I was so wet the whole movie.
True. The Secret Life of Pets, that's definitely certified wet.
Yeah.
I never knew what my pets were up to, and now I know.
Right. Yeah, certified wet pet. Hashtag wet pet. Put that on Twitter. Let's get that trending. But really, though, it's Arrival.
Yeah, it's Arrival.
Arrival was the best movie of the year.
Yeah.
That, out of the ones we've seen. Arrival was fucking fantastic. I think instant science fiction classic.
For sure.
I mean,
you could just tell when you're watching that movie, I had that instant classic sci-fi.
Yeah, it has just moments that you see that, like, so many movies, even movies that I like nowadays, will have a great moment, but you'll see it and you're like, that's a great moment that I've seen in other movies.
Sure.
You know, like, even like Force Awakens, which we like last year, was like, that's a great moment from A New Hope, and it's fun here, but like, you know, or even other movies, because that is like directly Star Wars, but even like I watched Conjuring 2 this year, and there's a lot of great moments where I was like, this is a great horror moment that I've seen in other horror movies.
Right.
And Arrival is one of those movies that, sure, you can compare it to Close Encounters, or maybe E.T. a little bit, or like even Contact, or something like that, but like, there are moments in that you go, I haven't seen this in a movie. Like, no spoilers or anything, but like, obviously it's about aliens coming to Earth. That scene when they first go in the room on the ship, like, that scene, I just remember like watching it with like chills, not just because it was like a thrilling moment in the movie, just like, as a fan of film being like, I've never seen a moment that made me feel this way.
I think they have a really, really cool approach to aliens too. It wasn't like, here's this technologically advanced race per se.
Yeah.
It was just like the bait you see them in, it's just so simple and so... It's not like...
Right, but it feels so classic.
It does.
That
it
wide shot of
cool.
them coming into the room like looked like a book cover of like an old science fiction book or something.
No, again, I'm not going to spoil like anything else like that, but I think if they had done like the typical, here's like this high advanced tech like spaceship with all these gizmo gadgets, it would have been as cool. The fact they had it's just so mysterious and so simple and so like...
Right.
You just feel like you just really feel it when you went in there. It just really sets the atmosphere.
Yeah, and the music also helped a lot.
Yes.
I think we didn't have this as a category either, but that's what I figure out, like, score of the year.
Yeah.
That soundtrack was just so fucking perfect for that movie. Great performances, too. I think Amy Adams really killed it there.
I think my favorite score of the year was 9 out of 10.
What?
That's my favorite score this year.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I had to get there. But yeah, Arrival was really great. If you didn't see Arrival, check it out. So now we're going to talk about Best Tomato.
Best Tomato.
Probably my favorite.
No, is it a fruit or is it a vegetable?
Oh, that's right. Is it a fruit or a vegetable? And the results are in. It's a fruit.
Damn!
It's a fruit, guys.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Check it out.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Peppers are also fruits.
Are they?
Pumpkins are fruits.
Pumpkins are fruits? Man, I didn't know that. I guess I do like fruits.
Yeah, fruits are pretty good. In fact, once you actually look up what's a fruit and what's a vegetable, there's not that many vegetables.
Huh. So
basically, if something's green, probably a vegetable.
So when I tell people I don't like fruits that much, I actually like vegetables. All my favorite vegetables are fruits.
Probably.
And all my favorite fruits are vegetables.
Unless you really love like lettuce and cabbage.
I mean, I like it. I don't love it.
Right. Yeah. Lettuce is fine, but like it's not like fuck. I need to get some lettuce in. Right. So yeah, probably your favorite vegetables are your favorite fruits.
Damn. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I lied to you guys for years.
So that's the first minor category. Certified wet. What was our best album? Let's switch it. Best show. The show goes with movie better.
Sure.
We'll come to album in a minute.
This one actually was harder for me than I was anticipating because how much came out this
year. Yeah, there's quite a few shows. I want to say really quick. We did one of these videos last year for Best of 2015, and I think I didn't really pick a show. I was like, I don't know, South Park or something, because I didn't really watch anything.
Right.
Right after that, I watched two shows from last year, Jessica Jones and Daredevil, because we kind of not into the Marvel movie franchise.
We're kind of
too
nerds.
much. We're kind of a little bit of geek, a little bit of nerds. I didn't watch Deadpool, but I laughed anyways, even though I laughed at the trailer.
I love chimichangas too.
I love we both we'll go to Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
No, but like Jessica Jones was great. That was one of my favorite shows of last year. So retroactively, but yeah, let's move on. This year, there was quite a few things.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably got more shows than me, so you want to start it off here?
Sure. Can this be the one where we might talk about this one because we're kind of doing this instead of a weekly rat, right?
Yeah. So if you don't know, we do a show called Weekly Rat. This is kind of like episode 8 of Weekly Rat, even though it's like best of, and we're also not filming it shitty on our phone.
Because I had a bunch of shows I want to talk about, but they're going to tie into my top shows. So
right.
So Westworld came out this year. New series.
I'm pretty sure that came out in like the 70s.
Sure. Well, the Westworld, the show. Subtitle.
They made a show based on Westworld?
Yeah, right? Whoa. So you guys heard me talking about that every week. We had our finale finally.
It sucked.
It did suck. Now, I've had a lot of time to think about that finale ever since then, and that finale was really, really good. I mean, that show's last couple episodes just answered so many questions that I wasn't expecting, because I thought they were going to try and drag this out for a while, which I couldn't tell if I was okay with or not. But they just said fuck it and went for it. And so I've heard a couple people echo this, and honestly, if they did this, I wouldn't be disappointed. If the next season was just something totally different.
Mm-hmm. Hey, our video stopped recording. If you've ever seen any of our videos, you know that always happens.
So I'm not going to say
it's also going to happen again. So heads up.
Yeah. So I would be totally okay if it does kind of end there, because that show does answer and reveals so much that it kind of ties up its entire story in just that season. And anything they kind of leave on a quote-unquote cliffhanger is one of those type of endings where you can kind of surmise what's going to happen, so they don't really have to show you what happens. You can just kind of know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd almost be really curious what they would even do for the next season if they continue that story. I just feel like if they do, it would just lose so much of the appeal they did in the first season.
Right.
Because of just what's left. The kind of everything they were moving towards and kind of all the moving pieces and stuff kind of just happened right then and there. So anything else, you can kind of just come to your own conclusion. That being said, that's an amazing show, an amazing new show. I'm really, really, really big fan of that, and I highly, highly recommend that show.
How many episodes is it?
It is 10. HBO shows always 10 episodes. Cool.
Yeah, I really want to see that. I just haven't. Everybody's talking about it, but I haven't seen it.
It's definitely a show you definitely want to get on it sooner than later. Mm-hmm. That's one of those things. Cause I could totally be one of those shows where you just get so far from the loop. It's just I don't want to go back in now. It's so much effort. But with Game of Thrones, I kind of got a little bit late on that too, and it was so worth catching up. I'm glad I did. Speaking of Game of Thrones, I almost didn't want to mention Game of Thrones just because it's always going to be good. It's fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But this season in particular was probably the best season they've ever had. It was it just felt so different. The past couple seasons have been good, but it's just kind of been what I was worried Westworld was going to do, and it's kind of dragging on too much of the stuff. It's yeah, we know. Just keep waiting for it. This one's the finale of the season, all right, guys, this shit's actually finally fucking happening for real now. And it was really great. And the last 2 episodes were probably some of the best directed TV show stuff I've ever seen. It was incredible. So, if you like Game of Thrones, you do that. I'm not even going to recommend Game of Thrones, because if you're not watching at this point,
yeah,
you're probably never going to, so.
Yeah.
Stranger Things came out this year.
Oh yeah, Stranger Things.
Totally forgot about that. I was like, this is shit. Stranger Things.
Right, I forgot about that too. The show, a lot of people, when it came out, said one of the best shows ever made.
Yes. Not my pick, actually. When I watched it, I was like, this is a good show.
Yeah,
I
really good.
I thought, this might be my favorite show of the year. But then so many other shows came out, and it's kind of hey, it's good.
Yeah, it was really good, but I've said this from when Stranger Things came out. Stranger Things is one of those shows, earlier when I was talking about movies, where you see a scene and you're like, that's a really good scene, but I've seen that.
Seen that scene, yeah.
Stranger Things is an entire show about that.
It's an entire show of nostalgia and nothing particular.
Now, to be fair, they did a better approach than some things do, where they made their own thing out of it. It wasn't like the Poltergeist movie where they're like, we're going to make you feel nostalgic for Poltergeist by just giving you the same fucking movie. Mm-hmm. That's not nostalgia, that's just being lazy. A better Poltergeist remake is Insidious, because it's basically Poltergeist, but different and new and weird.
Yeah.
But Stranger Things was really good. I really enjoyed it for a nostalgic time period piece.
Sure.
I mean, we talked about this too, and a lot of people did. It was Super 8, but a show.
A Super 8, but a show.
And because it was longer, it was able to expand more than Super 8 did.
Yeah.
And you got more out of it.
It really captured the feel of what Super 8 was trying to go for.
Yeah.
Executed.
It helped that it had more time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely that. I still think And it's funny because I've heard a couple people say this. I think you agree, but a lot of people I feel like didn't care. Maybe they're not as picky with stuff. I still think the design was cool, but the look of it looked like fucking garbage.
Yeah.
And every time that monster showed up, I was totally taken out of the show. Like I remember people being like, that show was really scary. And I was like, I couldn't be scared during those scenes because I was scared maybe like the first episode when you don't see it. It's like the kid alone in his little like what's it called? Not a shack. What do you call something in your backyard? Shed. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word shed. When he's just like pointing the gun up, and I was like, oh, this is dope. And then you see the monster, and you're like,
it is such a letdown because they built so many good sets and atmospheres around that creature.
Too, is I did hear people say this too. It's like you wanted to make this thing that was super homage heavy towards the 80s, but then you didn't use like a costume or practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like you did something that was so heavily influenced by this specific time period, these kind of movies, but then you did CGI, and it's like that's a wasted opportunity. That's really lame.
Yeah.
That was my biggest beef with the show. Other than that, really, the characters were really good. But I think honestly, if you would have just cut the monster story completely, you still have the other world or whatever, and have like dangerous things there. Yeah. Just cut that monster. Would have been like great.
And I think we're kind of in the same boat here too. I'm pretty sure. Just like Westworld, I would be okay if that show's just done.
Oh yeah,
I'll check out the second season.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out for sure. But I'm not interested.
It's one of those things where anything else that can happen, you can kind of just figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
So
we were interested at first because before they announced it, there was kind of talks of maybe it'll be an anthology. I was like, yeah, I'd be down for that. Let's do that. But then it's like, no, we're going to continue the story. It's like, no, I like the idea of I don't know, is Eleven dead? Is she in the other world? I like that not knowing. And in season 2, I feel the same way with like Last of Us Part 2. It's just like it might still be really good, but like I like the ending that I have. I like my headcanon, guys. Mm-hmm. I'm going to write a fan fiction for my headcanon.
Mm-hmm. Love my headcanons.
No, making fun of that term, but legitimately, like, when something ends a certain way, you're meant to take something out of it.
Yeah.
It'd be like Inception 2 is like, the top falls over. Like, it opens with the top falling over, and you're like,
and I get a lot of people aren't like this, but, me and you are both the kind of type of people where it's better sometimes not to show you something. It's better to just leave it to your imagination.
For sure.
That's how I like my women. I don't like naked women. But yeah, so other than that, another show that came out really closely after Stranger Things, also about a bunch of kids, that I think got super overlooked and is really, really good, and I definitely highly recommend it, is called The Get Down, which is a really, really good show, and not a lot of people talked about it. It's kind of, again, it's kind of that classic nostalgia feel of like back during that kind of like older time period and stuff like that. It's kind of more or less about the start of hip-hop, but that's not really the main purpose of it per se. It's almost like that's a vehicle to tell the story of its characters, which are really, really good. There's some characters now that I think are just absolutely hilarious characters in the way there's this... It's so weird because it's kind of from more or less kind of a serious show, but they pull off comedy in it kind of in a great way where they make these ridiculous characters, but they still seem like believable characters.
Uh-huh.
Like, the main villain is a guy named Cadillac, who's like the best disco dancer in the world.
Hell yeah.
And like that's what he just does disco moves all the fucking time while he's taking coke. And it's ridiculous, but the character fucking works. And kind of like the main like I guess I don't want to call him like the Obi-Wan Kenobi to the hero, I guess, in this show, is a guy named what is it? It's like it's some like kung fu term like Shaolin
Soccer.
Yeah, Shaolin Fabulous or something like that. Something ridiculous. That's his name. They don't call him anything else. They just call him Shaolin whatever. And he just is super into kung fu and like karate. He does fake karate. Like they even call it out where he's just like he like tries to fight someone. He punches the kid, and the guy's like, "Man, you punch like you suck." Like he looks like you do all these cool moves, but you fucking can't fight. It's just like there's insanely funny characters, and everything works out really well, and it's awesome. I definitely recommend it. It's one of those good classic kind of like nostalgic kind of like kids for the summer doing something cool kind of thing.
Right.
I really like on that show. It's really good. Really, really like it. Not enough people. I don't think talked about it.
Trailer Park Boys Out of the Park came out.
Shit, I forgot about that.
And you know what? That was a fun little thing.
That was fun.
If you're a fan of Trailer Park Boys, check it out. Honestly, if you aren't a fan of Trailer Park Boys, I don't think this would be that good. Because I think it relies heavily on you knowing the characters already. Because normally Trailer Park Boys, each season is almost kind of the same thing, but not in a bad way. And so, some shows that would be a bad thing, but Trailer Park Boys is great in its simplicity. Every season is about these characters come up with some big new scheme to make money, and they fail. But, it's all about the little interaction with all the characters and the rest of the
Yeah, because, almost the whole thing's like them trying to make money to like get what their vices are for each one of them.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't get that if you don't watch the show.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be as funny to you.
Yeah. So maybe if you've never seen Trailer Park Boys, don't check it out. But hey, check out Trailer Park Boys first, and if you like that, check out Out of the Park.
Out of the Park's pretty good.
It was cool.
I'm with David. David mentioned this, and I totally agree. I hope they keep doing that, but I hope they also keep doing the other show too.
Yeah, it's a cool spin-off series. It wouldn't be great for the main show.
Yeah.
What else?
Luke Cage came out this year.
Luke Cage came out this year, which we both, I think, talked about on Weekly Rat.
Yep.
We both really liked it, but it didn't quite, I think, stand out maybe as much as other stuff, just because, again, it's kind of a little familiar. It did some cool stuff that was,
right.
I don't know, we talked about it. It was good. Check it out. Check out Luke Cage.
Yeah.
We both recommend it, but just not show of the year.
Yeah.
Another great show that a lot of people aren't going to talk about on their lists because, I don't know, it doesn't count as a show or whatever. Rooster Teeth's Day 5.
Oh, yeah. Day 5 was...
Whether you're a Rooster Teeth fan or not, it doesn't matter. Because I think a lot of people, who don't like Rooster Teeth would be like, I don't like red versus blue. Or I don't like
sure.
And so I'm not going to try out Day 5. Hey, Day 5 is not like that.
It's not like that at all.
It is like...
You could put any other label on this.
Day 5 is as good as a show that you would see on like an actual like television station, like something on AMC. The production's great. The writing's really good. The directing's great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, a really cool little sci-fi show.
Yeah. I mean, there's Rooster Teeth cameos, but none of them are really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
The only one that's most prevalent is Barbara's, and I think Barbara actually did a really good job where it's not really in your face.
Yeah, sure. Maybe Joel is a whole
sure.
episode,
I just think of Joel as an actor so much that I kind of forget.
That's true. But yeah, none of them are like, oh, look, the Rooster Teeth guy. It's never like that.
Right.
Like, that show is not, if you are a fan of Rooster Teeth, definitely check it out. But even if you're not and you're like put off by Rooster Teeth, you should definitely check it out.
You won't even notice the cameos if you're not a Rooster Teeth fan.
Yeah.
They are so not in your face about it at all.
Yeah, and that show was it was dark. It had some funny stuff to it. It was really intense. It was
very interesting,
emotional sometimes. Yeah, great stuff.
Really, really good.
But yeah,
I feel like even Rooster Teeth didn't promote that show enough.
Yeah,
which is fucking weird.
Yeah,
like their Twitter is blowing up right now with their stupid meme show.
Yeah,
but they did not.
They want to promote their meme documentary.
Yeah,
but they can't. They changed their Twitter to Rooster memes.
Not a show that you would legitimately see on a TV show. I
really feel like honestly, Day 5 might be my top show of the year if it wasn't for one I'm going to name in a minute because it was just that good.
Yeah,
I really loved Day 5, and not even like completely like objectively, not as a fan of Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
So, Dylan, what was your favorite show of the year?
Boy, I feel really embarrassed I'm going to say this because it was totally going to be Westworld Tell this week.
Uh-huh.
I started watching the show because all the podcasts and people I follow on Twitter start talking about it. A show called Terrace House. And holy fuck, that show is so good. It's a reality show, kind of. Well, it is a reality show. Set in Japan where there's 3 guys, 3 girls. They all move into a house, kind of like a real world situation. What's different is they don't have the confessionals or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just seems way more natural. But also, everybody there is so damn polite. Like, no one argues, no one yells, no one fist fights, no one's on there to try and be, like, famous per se for here. They're just living in this house. All of them are, like, either, like, artists or models or doing stuff like that. But they're all, like, super dedicated to it. Like, that's their goal is, like, I'm living here.
We gotta stop you.
But they're all there because they live in Tokyo and they're trying to pursue this career. So they can live at this dope house and they don't have to pay for rent or anything. So it's kind of a nice way to do that. And then it's basically about, it's also basically a show about dating. Like every time a new person shows up, the first thing they immediately ask, because they're so upfront about it, is, what's your type of guy? Are you single? Like, and stuff like that. The other thing that's really cool in other things is when someone feels like they've got all they want out of the experience, they just leave. So the cast on that show changes all the time. Like if someone tries to date somebody and it doesn't work out and everybody else is kind of already paired up, they're kind of like, all right, guys, well, I'm leaving. And then they're just gone. And it's not even like a big thing. Like they'll be like, I'm leaving tomorrow morning, and then they're just gone.
Nice.
Someone else replaces them. Another thing I really like about this, I don't watch reality shows, so I don't know if this is a common thing or not, but they have a panel that interrupts like at the midpoint and then right before the end of the show, where they just kind of commentate on what's going on. They're all comedians, and it's really, really funny. But no, that show's my favorite just because I have never seen a show like that before, and it's just kind of so honest and kind of pure with like what's its intentions. It's kind of refreshing to see a reality show that isn't about let's show like the worst of people.
Well, but you forgot the best reality show of the year, Survivor, Gen X versus
Forgot about Gen X, sorry.
Yeah.
Excluding that one, of course. But no, it just seems nice because I heard a lot of people that was like, I don't even think there's a producer in the show because I don't know what he would even do. Because this show's not about trying to show the worst sides about people, trying to like get people up against each other.
Right.
Just everybody's just like, there's even a part where they mention a girl got really, really drunk and got in a big fight with another girl and they're yelling at her. You don't see that. They actually didn't film that and put it on there.
No, interesting.
They just didn't do that. If it was any other reality show, that would absolutely have been on there. But they did not put it on there because they didn't want to affect her career in acting. Which is like, You just don't have that. Our reality shows just aren't like that. So
Right.
it's like kind of a cool look at like just a different way to do reality shows and a different look at culture that's so different than like what our culture is like.
Mhm.
It's kind of it was nice, refreshing to watch.
Nice.
So I recommend it. Even if you don't like reality shows, I recommend it.
We have very different picks or favorites.
Oh.
My favorite pick, another show that I feel like didn't really get promoted or talked about nearly as much as I deserve to. 11/22/63.
Oh, I forgot that came out this year.
Yeah.
Damn.
That show floored me. It really. I've seen it 4 times now because it's only 8 episodes. I really love that show. I never read the book. It's based off a Stephen King book, produced by J.J. Abrams, not the book but the show. Oh, fuck! I almost threw up. And stars James Franco. And I think it's just so good.
It's a really good show.
It's really well directed. It's super well paced. I will say the show it dips a bit in the middle. It slows down a little bit, but like it's so. If you don't know, it's about the assassination of JFK. And what's cool about it, and like I read about. Sorry, I burped and I lost my train of thought. I read about like when they were developing it, and like one of the things that appealed to I think like Abrams and like also James Franco was just the idea of like you take this event that people know really well. People, you know, especially like. I've always really been interested in the assassination of JFK. I think it's one of the. I don't have like the conspiracy.
Yeah, I
stuff.
don't know about these kids. There's this period, but I feel like anybody like to our generation past, you just kind of always hear about the assassination.
Yeah.
So you're just always obsessed with it.
Yeah.
With this like unknown factor.
Well, and again, I don't really care about the conspiracy stuff. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But like, I just think that's such a fascinating event.
Yeah.
And the show shows you that event, but by the time you get there, you don't know what's going to happen. It's one of the events where you know every detail. You've heard every detail. And you actually get to that event and you're like, well, fuck, I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
And I think that's so exciting to have something that you know everything that happens, but then you get there and you don't.
I also like how the show kind of completely throws out. It never fully to let you know how many times has it done this, how long has it been. You know, stuff like that. Like, I mean, you kind of get a clue, but you can kind of tell there's going to be a lot of trial and error that we maybe even didn't see. So it's just like, man, he's been doing this for like a really, really. I always like things like that where the character themselves almost gets lost in this cycle of itself,
right?
To where you probably don't even know how long they've actually been doing this.
Yeah, and I think that show does so many interesting things. Like, I don't know, I could go on and on about that show, but that's my pick. I really think I was really impressed with it, and I really wish more people had talked about it because, like, you know, obviously Game of Thrones is always good. Everybody always talks about Game of Thrones. Like, there's shows like that get enough attention.
See, that's why.
But this one just didn't.
Yes, that's why I don't like mentioning things like Game of Thrones and South Park and stuff like that. It's like they come out every year.
Yeah, we know this.
They're always good.
Yeah,
you know,
like every year we watch It's Always Sunny. Every year we watch South Park.
Yeah,
They are what they
They're always
are.
good shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to mention like new things that people.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even mentioned Trailer Park Boys if it wasn't for the spinoff.
Exactly.
Because there was also a regular season of Trailer Park Boys.
Boys,
I didn't. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's great, but like, who cares? It always happens. But plus, I'm a big fan of like a mini series that can just be done.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about 11/22/63.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, hey, it's 8 episodes. That's it.
I love
There isn't
miniseries.
like
Miniseries are
another series or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that was good. But anyways, we talked about shows a lot. Let's get into albums. This one will be quicker.
Well,
First we got.
Yeah.
What was the second one? Did Trump win?
Did Trump actually
win?
Hold on.
And, wait, hang on. Let's get the results in.
Hey Siri, who won the 2016 presidential election?
Republican Donald Trump won the Electoral College. He is the President-elect of the United States.
There you have it.
What? Harambe won?
Harambe won, baby.
I'm going to edit a voice clip where instead of your phone, it's going to say Harambe
Interesting
won.
they use Bing. Why would Bing be...
Google always uses, or not Google, Siri always uses Bing.
Interesting, but it's not like Microsoft.
Because, well, Google, Android uses Google.
Well, cool. Oh, so I guess they have to pay for Google.
Yeah, because when I don't go, hey Siri, I go, hey Google.
Oh.
That's how I do my phone, because I have an Android.
Interesting.
Anyways,
the competitor.
So yeah, that was the winner of the election. Anyways, let's talk about favorite albums of the year. Not a lot. Albums is always a weird one to talk about because, like, I feel like with movies and shows, you know, people always have like their own personal favorites, their own personal opinions, but most people can agree. Whether it's your personal favorite, like, you know, even if, like, if I had watched Westworld, it probably, I don't know, maybe wouldn't be my favorite over 11/22/63,
Sure.
but I'm sure I would still be able to go. But that was good.
Yeah.
Respect, you know, like
Respect.
But with albums, like, people are way more divisive on the
Right.
music they like. It's such a hard one to pin down. So that's why the two that we're going to pick are the best, and you're wrong.
Yeah.
And also, each of us are wrong if we don't pick the same one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
3,
2,
1.
1.
M83. Is that the name of the band? Did I get it right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Yeah, probably M83's Junk. And Maybe 3 is a band that I'd like.
And the album.
And the album, yeah. That's a band that I had kind of been a little bit of a fan of before, off and on. They'd had some hits that I'd liked. But this album I thought was just so
It's really good.
good.
I have 2 comments to make about this pick. 1, it is a really good album. I'm not trying to take away from that. But 2,
Right.
fucking nothing came out
Yeah,
this year.
that's true too.
Literally nothing came
It
out
wasn't
this year.
exactly hard competition. I will
No.
say, let's even though we did our favorite first, we're flipping it up, flipping the script. A couple of honorable mentions. Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotions
That's right,
Side
right.
B.
Emotions, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
I kind of listened to her other album before. Like, that's an album that has actually good songs on it, the original album.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I think she got fucked by having Call Me Maybe be her first big
Yeah.
hit.
Well, and then followed up by It's Always a Good Time.
Yeah, because that album's a generic pop album. Nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. But it kind of just pigeonholed her where people that's all they think of her.
Well, yeah, because I didn't listen to Side A last year.
Yeah.
Or I guess it was just called Emotion. It wasn't called
Yeah.
Side A. But I heard people talk about Side B, and I was like, fuck. People listen to Carly
Yeah,
Rae
I
Jepsen?
remember-
Because I wrote her
I
off
remember
years ago. Because Call Me Maybe is a shitty song. It's
Yeah.
funny because after I started listening to Side B, I was like, I'll go back. Maybe I was
Yeah.
wrong.
'Cause,
Nope,
like, David's-
shitty song.
But David's reaction was just so like, it's like, okay, man, whatever. And I was like, you can't check out every song. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, because I mean, it fucking
No,
Call Me
I
Maybe
totally
was
understand,
She's
totally
the worst.
understandable.
But then,
Totally
yeah, I
understandable.
listened to that song, I was just like, oh, or the
Yeah.
album, I was just like, shit.
Yeah.
This is really good.
I realized too because I full credit, not full credit. Of course, you gotta give credit to her, but a lot of kudos to her producers and the label for letting her take that chance. Because she said like, "Hey, I know Call Me Maybe was good, and sure we can make another album that's just gonna be the same stuff, but I really want to do some different stuff." And they're like, "Go for it, yeah, hell yeah." Which is crazy. Like I feel like most people are like, "No, you're kind of a one-hit wonder. We're gonna keep fucking riding that train until our contract's
Right.
done with you." So I mean, good on them because I think a lot of people praise Side B a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Shit, man, I just realized something that we didn't mention, album and movie. Popstar.
Oh yeah, Popstar was
Wouldn't have been
good.
movie of the year at all,
No.
but like, Popstar was really fucking great. If you're a Lonely Island fan,
Yes.
or even if you're not, honestly, but especially if you are,
I think
check that out.
I
The
think-
movie and the album.
I think the marketing really fucked that movie.
Definitely.
Because they didn't market it as, hey guys, this is the Lonely Island movie.
Right.
They're just like, hey, here's a movie making fun of Justin Bieber.
Yeah, and
like,
it's not really like you can
It's
watch
not.
it and there's some elements there.
Sure, yeah, for sure.
you're like, okay, I can see where that was the starting idea.
Exactly, I was gonna say you can tell it's the nugget.
Yeah, but like they definitely expanded it into something else. It's
Yeah.
more making fun of pop stars and sensationalism in general,
yeah.
rather than a specific figure.
Yeah.
But that movie's really
Really
funny.
good, really good.
The story is pretty much what you expect out of a basic kind of like mockumentary pop star thing, but it's so funny. The songs are actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, they're
like
good.
not that Lonely Island's
I mean,
bad.
yeah,
but like
it's
they've always,
almost like
I think they've
another-
always put comedy first
Yeah.
and then music 2nd. This one they kind of were closer together.
Yeah, yeah. It was literally them taking it like because I've kind of noticed with the past couple albums that I was like, man, if you just put any other lyrics in this thing, this would be a legitimately like hit song.
Yeah.
That's what I always like about Lonely Island. Is like they're actually talented
Oh,
people,
right.
and they decide to spend that talent making bullshit songs. I fucking love it.
And this album's cool because like you get a little bit of because they've always mostly done rap. There's been
Yeah,
a little bit
true.
like
Yeah,
you
it's
get
true.
more of a variety here. And like the I'm a Weirdo song, which is like kind of like a club like kind of hit song. Like I remember hearing that and being like, I could absolutely see this playing like with
Yeah.
nobody raising an eyebrow. Like in clubs that I've been to,
Yeah.
and like everybody would just not listen to the lyrics and be like, "Yeah, this
Oh, hell
sounds
yeah,
great."
sounds good, yeah.
But if you stop and listen to the lyrics, it's like, "What the fuck?"
yeah,
But and that's why this album I think is even more impressive than the other ones because like it just blends in.
But that's
like,
the
it's so
crazy
good.
thing that actually made me want to check out the movie was I was looking up Lonely. I saw Lonely Island for something. I was like, oh, I wonder when Lonely. I think I literally had a thought like, I wonder when Lonely Island's gonna come to an album, and this was listed as one of the albums, and I was just like, oh, we gotta watch this movie now because this is literally a fucking
Right.
Lonely Island movie. It's just, it's good. That was
Yeah,
really,
really,
really
really
good. Yeah. Another honorable mention is The Weeknd, Starboy. That's good. It's a good album. It's
Wraith of Khan.
Wraith of Khan. It's more different than his other albums, which is good because I think he was kind of getting the thing where he's kind of just doing the same old shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad he took a little bit more departure. Some songs on there are really good. Some songs are kind of just kind of like misses, but for the most part, I feel like it's a generally solid album. It's not bad, but not good enough to be my favorite.
Right. I don't know if I really had much else. There was like some songs, like individual songs by artists I liked, but as an album overall, not really anything else. Oh, I do want to give a shout out to something that really got overlooked. I understand why. And this is a little bit video game talk. The soundtrack for No Man's Sky, if you play the game, it's not really... We got stopped again. You don't really hear a lot when you play the game. And so the band that does that, the soundtrack is 65 Days of Static. That's legitimately one of my favorite bands long before the game came out. And so like when they were announced to do the soundtrack, I was like, fuck, that's awesome. Because I've always thought they had like a cool like science fiction soundtrack sound. They're just an instrumental band. They don't have lyrics. So a lot of people aren't going to be interested in that. Because it's not like a catchy song you like sing along to. But I like to listen to them a lot when I write stuff. It's just great ambient music. But their album was actually, the soundtrack for that was really fucking good if you actually listen to the legitimate soundtrack. If you just hear it in the game, you're like, oh, this isn't really here, huh? And it's funny because, like, not to talk too much about the game, but, like, some of the music on there is, like, so exciting and epic, and you're just like, and my first thought was, like, why didn't they use this in the game? And then I realized, oh, because there's no moment in the game that this would work for, because the game is never this exciting.
Which is just such a weird choice that they picked them to
Well, I just assumed that they picked it, you know, with the intention of having those moments, but then didn't get to put them in there. But, yeah, another shout-out to that.
Speaking of good sci-fi things, I'm trying to look it up, I can't find the name of the band. The band that did a lot of the soundtrack stuff for Stranger Things. Stranger Things had a pretty...
The soundtrack was good, yeah.
It was really, really good. There's the actual band that does that, and I cannot remember their name is, so sorry, but that one.
But yeah, anything else for albums?
The 2016 Family album this year was pretty good. A lot of good pictures this year. I enjoyed it.
Right.
Thanks, Grandma.
Yep.
That was good.
What was our next minor category? What was our last one?
I think that we only had 3. Oh, no. Hold
no
on. We'll do this one last. This will be last.
What was it?
Best smell. We'll do it last.
Best smell.
Yeah.
Okay, well then first we're going to do worst thing of the year.
Worst thing of the year.
What was the worst overall thing of the year? Because
2016.
everybody...
2016.
2016. Oh my god, you guys, this
Relax.
year... I can't even with this year.
Can't even.
I'm not even an adult.
Dad jokes.
I'm a little baby this year
I'm a
because
little
2016 sucks.
I'm the New Year
All
baby.
my favorite celebrities
I'm
died.
the 2017.
Gary Coleman died.
I'm the 2017
Michael
New Year
Jackson
baby,
died.
born early.
Everybody died, and it
Dad
sucked.
even died.
Harambe died this
Mama
year.
died this year.
Dick's out for Harambe's dick. Humanity. What else died this year?
Syrian refugees.
Syrian refugees died this year. What else died this year?
Was Paris attacks this year?
Paris attacks were this year.
That was
early
shitty.
this year.
That was shitty.
Yeah.
We could have lost 2 good band people.
Yeah.
It could have sucked. We could have lost Eagles of Death Metal.
We did. They died. They're dead
I
too.
haven't heard from them since. So.
Hey guys, be sure to rate 5 stars for all these funny jokes about people actually dying, because that's funny.
Real talk, it's not funny.
We're
sorry, everybody.
Sorry. Rest in peace, Josh Homme.
The Constitution died.
The Constitution died.
The presidency died.
I think
Hillary Clinton died.
I think Hillary Clinton did die. I think I'm pretty sure.
That's how the election works. Like if you lose, you die, right?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's what I thought.
Imagine like a show where just two of the worst people have to go up against each other, and then at the end one of them dies.
Oh my god.
Oh, sneak teaser for our next big show coming in 2017. That actually is a teaser for our next show coming in 2017. Check that out soon. Anyways, now that we're done being really funny, let's talk about the best video game of the year.
Should we do honorable mentions first?
Yeah. So this is the hardest one.
I think
because
so.
unlike movies, and again, we didn't see every movie this year, so there's probably stuff that came out that's great.
We did play every video game this
But
year.
we did play every video game. And there were a lot of good ones. And so this is actually a really tough category. And video games, I always feel like, out of anything, out of any media, out of any form of entertainment, I think are sometimes the hardest. I talked about how albums are very divisive. That's true, but you can still, from a certain standpoint, say, this is composed with this kind of, skill level. But with video games, what's tough is you can have something that's like super 8-bit and simple. I mean, you can have something, it's not 8-bit, but something like Minecraft that is like graphically nothing, but a world of game. You can have something like, not that it came out this year, neither did Minecraft, but like Last of Us, where it's like on a technical level, as far as like facial capture and stuff goes, and as far as storytelling goes, that's incredible. But comparing Last of Us to Minecraft is hard to do. But they're both video games, so they fall into the same category. If you're picking a favorite video game, they're the same category, but like, those couldn't be farther apart.
No,
whereas like, movies, sure they can be different, but there's certain things you can say like directing and writing and editing that can apply to everything. Writing doesn't apply to all video games. Nobody goes to Minecraft and is like, I'm going to rate the writing in Minecraft. That would be stupid if you're a reviewer and you're like, the writing gets a 0. You shouldn't rate Minecraft for the writing. Right. That's why video games are so hard, is like there's just so many fucking things that you can do.
Moving pieces.
I will say some of the video games that came out this year I only just started playing, and so I'm going to disqualify them based on the fact that I haven't played them enough. maybe they would be. I just started playing Stardew Valley because it came out on PS4,
Right.
and I really like it. And I will say again, I really like it. Maybe I'll keep playing it and be like, that was my favorite. But so far, I'm gonna say it probably, almost definitely wouldn't be. Not that it's bad,
Right.
but it's one of those things where it's like,
one.
yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it may be the best Harvest Moon game ever made, but it's still kind of a Harvest Moon game.
Yeah.
If you've played, like it's the same way like Axiom Verge. I loved Axiom Verge, but it's just a really good
Right.
Super Metroid.
Right.
It's not like I'm
I mean,
playing something that's like
It could
I've
be
never
the
played.
best ET game, but it's still
it's still an ET game.
So
But yeah, and I also recently started playing the 2016 Hitman, which is a fantastic fucking video game that I can't recommend enough. But I just haven't played it enough to definitively say like that
The
was
best,
it. But honestly, if I had, that would be a huge contender. I don't know if it would get the spot, but that game just continues to impress me, and they just keep making free content for that game, and that's really cool. Thanks for that. Thanks for the holiday update. What other honorable mentions do we have?
honorable mentions. Skyrim remaster came out. That's kind of not really a new game, but
Yeah, but we both played it a lot.
good remaster. Good, fun.
Yeah, they improved a lot of stuff that they definitely needed to, and they did. So shout
They
us
did.
out. I'm trying to think because honestly, I hadn't thought about this a lot. There's so many video games that came out this year. Uncharted 4, I really liked.
Uncharted 4, Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, Dark Souls came out this year.
That was good. I heard a couple of people say this, and a couple of podcasts listened to about their top picks or whatever. I kind of have the opinion. I never played Dark Souls. This is my first Dark Souls game.
Mm-hmm.
I only got into Dark Souls because I played Bloodborne, and I really, really like Bloodborne. And this was good, but after playing Bloodborne, it's just not as good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bloodborne is just the perfect. It's
the perfect game.
It's the perfect game. No, it's like that formula perfected.
Right.
So this almost felt like or like they were reverting back to not as a
Sure.
good formula. So while it was fun, it just doesn't hold up after playing Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my opinion on that one.
Speaking of that kind of a game, not that it would be game of the year, but I've been playing Let It Die.
That's right.
That game's
downloaded
really
that, and I haven't played it yet.
I really like it. Also, we're about to run out of space on this memory card, so I'm gonna have to switch. So we're gonna be back in just a minute. Enjoy this commercial break from our
2,
sponsors.
1.
Don't, that didn't work.
Oh, I don't know how this works.
Try it again.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
All right, and we're back.
Oh hey,
How did you like our commercial break? Did you like it?
was it your favorite commercial of 2016?
Was it certified wet or certified dry?
Mm-hmm.
I liked that we set that up at the beginning and haven't done
A couple times.
I think in our first category.
The tomatoes.
Was Donald Trump certified wet or certified dry?
He looks like he's a dry boy.
He looks, yeah,
He
he
looks like a
looks
dry
like a
boy.
dry boy. What were we talking? Oh, video games. What else came out this year that was fun?
The Witness.
The Witness was very close to being my top game of the
The
year.
problem was it came out too early, so we got over it.
That's true. I already witnessed it. The Witness was my favorite Mad Max video game. Wow, how funny was that joke? Be sure to leave in the comments.
I'm glad
let
you
me
did
know.
because I was thinking of it and
Uh-huh.
still couldn't get out of my head.
Right.
So.
But anyways, no, The Witness was great. Gorgeous art design.
Yes,
Beautiful
very
game. And I just
beautiful.
think if a lot of people slept on The Witness or maybe were like, it's fucking maze puzzles. But like honestly, the way that game teaches you to play it
Yeah.
is so
It's
brilliant
we
and
talked
great.
we talked about this briefly before. That game is like kind of in a way it's such a testament to how to teach people to do things.
Yeah.
There's no instructions in that game. You literally just dropped in that world and you had to figure it out. And by the end, you kind of just get everything. But then you have to quickly realize you were never told what to do. You literally just saw the context clues around you and started summarizing it on your own thing. Like, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but if you're a person who played it and you hadn't seen other people play it and you started doing it, the first time you solve an environment puzzle is such a fucking mind-blowing moment.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember the last time I had such a mind-blowing moment where I was like, it just changed the game for you. Like, after that, all you see now is just that.
Yeah.
Like, I solved that, I was just like, I see this game was an entirely different game to me now. all of a
Right,
sudden.
and I mean, we've been like briefly, like we would go places and then like joke about seeing like, oh, that kind of looks
like that,
I
yeah.
bet I could like start. Oh yeah, that looks. Like
Yeah.
the
'Cause
game makes you
Yeah.
rethink and teaches you in a different way, but with never tutorializing it or never.
Because
being
I think
this
there's
is
a
what you
moment
need
like
to
that
do.
when I remember we were walking somewhere, we're looking at the sky, and like the cloud's like, oh, dude, that cloud's like a... Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that cloud is going to be one.
Yeah, because after you have that moment in the game, you're no longer just walking around just like,
Yeah.
I'm just walking around looking for these puzzle things. You're walking around looking at everything.
'Cause it
you
now-
see a rock on the ground, you're like, that
Yeah.
rock is going to do something.
It transforms the game from, I'm going to this place to the next place to solve the next puzzle, to, oh, this entire island has a purpose.
Yeah, this entire island is a puzzle.
Yeah, the
basically.
whole island's a puzzle. Going from one place to one place isn't just a way to get to the next area. There's puzzles on all the way around there.
From a pure design standpoint, I can't get over how great that is.
Yeah.
How smart that is, how clever that is.
So clever.
And I feel like a lot of people never got to that part or just really... Because I remember, and I've even seen, like, I watched videos on it, they were just like, oh, the game's just so simple and lame. And it's just like, maybe you just never got that far to
Right.
that point where you're like, oh, it all comes together. Because I feel like that's, that's a Bruce Willis's A Ghost moment where you're just like, I have to do this all again. I have to start from the beginning. I need to go back to the first and, like, see... There's no way that could be right. Like,
I mean, because
changes
everything in there has a point for a puzzle purpose. Like, you get the boat, and sure, the boat's a way for you to travel faster from one to the other, but the boat is also, you solve, like, the puzzle around the whole entire island. Like, everything about there is intentional. There's, like, no detail went unnoticed. Everything in there is so purposely planned that it's such creative and clever game design.
Yeah. That game really was, like... I really had a hard time not picking it because I really debated with, like, do I want to choose something that I think pushes game development forward, is like a big step, or do I want to choose something that was fucking fun?
Yeah.
And I went with that, which is
exactly.
not usually what I do. Usually I go with the thing that I think is the more, not always necessarily artsy, but, like, something that I just feel like is a big evolution.
Yeah.
But I had to eventually give it to. Do you have anything else before we go?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I'm going to talk to is
hold.
going to lead exactly what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Kind of similar way. So, like a lot of other people mentioned, it's...
If anybody's watched The Weekly Rat, they definitely know, by the way.
Yeah, it's Destiny, I think it's kind of like Game of Thrones almost to this point where if you don't like Destiny, you don't play Destiny, you're not getting on board to this point.
Yeah.
You're just not. But if you are still playing it, it's still great because you still love it. And I love the new update was great. It's still a lot of fun stuff. It's one of those games that game is so addicting to stop playing. And I have a couple guys that play it. And it's just a fun thing to get on and play that game with my friends. I enjoy doing that. It's a good social experience. But sometimes some of that gameplay just seems like a fucking chore. Which is why my game of the year leads into this. This game is a similar game. It's just a really, really fun social interactive game. The good game to hang out and have fun. It's not difficult. But it's just so chill and laid back and fun that I like that multiplayer experience much better.
Mm-hmm.
And that game is Pets.
Pets?
With a Z.
Man, I just I was just sitting here. Sorry to back up the conversation a couple minutes. I it just popped into my head that there's gonna be somebody that makes a list somewhere, BuzzFeed or whatever the fuck, that is like the worst things of 2016, and number one is unironically like
Gonna be
not a joke.
video?
No, not a joke like we were doing. It's gonna be the worst thing of 2016. 2016.
Oh yeah,
like
that's why I made that joke.
somebody's really
You know
gonna do
it's
that for
yeah.
real,
Yeah,
unironically.
For real. Unironically. But no, Overwatch.
Fuck.
Overwatch is
Overwatch is the best game.
best game of the year.
I
I played that
I agree
game.
with Jeff Keighley.
It's so funny because I literally when I got pre-ordered this game, I went to go just pre-order Dark Souls. That's all I was gonna get. And this game came out a month after that, and I was just like, "Fuck it! I have some extra cash on hand for once in my life. I've been really into Overwatch. I'm gonna get Overwatch. I know no one else is gonna get Overwatch. I'm just gonna get Overwatch." And I really really enjoyed it. Like I was playing I literally was playing every single day and having a great time. Because I also got the early beta and I enjoyed that so much. But man, that game became way more fun after their first free weekend because David got on board. My brother got on board.
With Overwatch, I don't play multiplayer games almost at all. Like I really don't. In fact, it only occurred to me recently after I started playing Overwatch. I haven't I've played a couple. Like I played Uncharted 4 earlier this year. I've played, I've dabbled here and there, but like day after day, week after week, I haven't consistently played a multiplayer game since the PS2.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Damn.
There's been this weekend I've got a free 48-hour Xbox Live Pass. I'll play some Team Fortress. Like I've occasionally done that. But consistently, Monster Hunter 2 and Battlefield 2 Modern Combat were the two games that I was big into in high school.
Damn.
And I just
See, I played Halo a lot, so...
Well, yeah, but that was still around that era.
Sure.
And I never played...
Sure. But
I never played Halo 3 multiplayer,
and
I never played Halo 4 multiplayer. I didn't play Halo 4 at all.
I played both those. I also played a lot of League of Legends, so it's kind
Sure, yeah. I mean,
But
well,
this
I
game is-
guess to be fair, I played Hearthstone.
Sure.
So, that's Hearthstone.
But see, I'm kind of in terms of multiplayer experiences when you are with other people as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And I like games like that. I play a lot. I mean, like I said, I play League of Legends, stuff like that, and I enjoy this game like that. But this game just does it so much better because it is such a relaxed fucking thing. Like, I'll get stressed out sometimes when I play League of Legends because It's just so. I mean, there's a lot. There's so many like in and outs to it. There's a lot of like technical prowess to be good at and stuff like that. And not that this game doesn't have that, but anybody can play this game. Anybody can play this game with some buds and have fun and not feel like they're a hindrance to the team. There's just so many different characters, so many different things to be good at. Like, each character is so vastly different than other characters. You're going to find somebody that you like or something that fits your playstyle. And if you have a group of people, you're just going to have fun. Like, when I lose, I sometimes don't even get that upset sometimes when I lose.
I mean, I'm definitely the kind of person that, like, I'll, like, yell and, like, be like, oh, fuck you. But, like, that's more of, like, I'm not actually mad. It's just, you know, it's part of the fun of, like, the same thing like people yell at sports. I guess some people actually get mad at sports.
Sure.
You don't really want to beat up the other, like, you know, I don't know I was going to say Tom Brady because I don't know anybody on football. But, like, you don't actually want to, like, kill that guy. You're like, come on, 42, what are you doing? I'll do that in, like, the fun of, like, we're playing a game. But I'm not ever, like, actually, like, I want to turn this fucking
you'll call it
game
like all
off.
bullshit or like something. It's like, I mean, you know, like at the end of the day, you know, like, oh, that was my fuck up. But you know, still, you just have fun.
But no, that game, like, it got me into shooters in a way that I haven't been into multiplayer games in years and years and years. Because I wrote off shooters because, especially first-person shooters, because it's just like they're all the same. Like everybody was always like, "What's better, Call of Duty or Battlefield?" And my answer is always, "They're the same. It doesn't matter."
Yeah.
It's iPhone versus Samsung. People can talk about how much better the iPhone is or how much better the Note is or whatever. They're the same fucking thing.
In this game, like it has a backstory, but for the sake of a backstory, that just doesn't. I mean, you could have a whole team full of the same fucking character. That doesn't make any sense in the context of any other video game. But this game just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like it just everything about it is just like they only designed this game to be fun. That's all they cared about when they made this game.
Right, but I just feel like even though like because I didn't play until the free weekend, but I just feel like I was excited to play the free weekend, but I figured it'll be a fun shooter. I haven't played a shooter in a while, but I really couldn't believe with how it isn't like all those other games.
No, it's really
like
not.
In a way it is, but it really isn't. And like the game's so brilliant because like you were saying with the different characters. The basic gameplay is very simple. It's there's a couple sort of different game modes, but they're basically the same thing. It's basically your team gets to this point, the other team's trying to get to that point. One of you wants to get whatever that point is, whether it's holding a stationary thing, whether it's holding a moving thing. Both teams are trying to get to a certain point and take it over.
Yeah,
that's basically it. And it's so simple. And there really isn't, aside from like the occasional like the Halloween mode or the summer mode. Okay, aside from those, like the game isn't anything else. But despite that, every character plays so differently that even though you're doing the same thing as a team, you feel like you're playing a different game when you play different characters.
You do.
The way I haven't even played a ton of the characters yet, but the way I play like Reaper versus the way I play Mercy or Diva is so
different. Yeah, I like it because like I watched like the making of documentary, and I think it just comes from I like the way they approach the game. They approach the game with just like, all right, we want a rocket launcher in the game. So they're not gonna like you go pick up a rocket launcher, but it's just like this character's a rocket launcher.
Yeah, and there's games that have tried that before. Like again, I said I played Team Fortress 2 back in the day, and that has its different classes.
Sure,
but I always felt like they weren't that great. Like they weren't that well developed, but also like there was only a few. There wasn't like fucking 20.
Yeah, and those characters I feel like they tried too hard to make those characters too ambiguous that you never really felt like there was a character really
right
there.
And even like games like Call of Duty have different classes. Where it's like your support, your medic, your sniper. But I just feel like basically you end up doing the same shit regardless of which of those you pick.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you don't pick Assault in a game like Call of Duty, you're probably just not having fun.
And let's be honest, like have you looked at Call of Duty porn? Not as good.
That's true.
Not as good as Overwatch.
Overwatch is the best porn of 2016. I really can't get over like how clever the design is for this stuff, and that's why I was able to put it over The Witness, because to me it wasn't just a fun shooter.
Yeah,
it was something that did something with a genre that was tired. For me personally, was tired and overdone and boring, and it completely re-envisioned it and redid it in a way that I think is great.
And we're back. But it does this unique thing too, where I've heard some people kind of complain, and I feel like at first I've kind of felt this way too, but I've actually gotten to be more fond of it. So you have all the characters right away. And the characters don't really have anything that adds to them. You don't buy items, you don't really do any of that. So it kind of feels like there's not really a realistic progress cycle.
Like, why keep playing?
Why keep playing? I've heard people have that. But I think you get past that after you start playing for a while because it's just fun. There's just different stuff to do. You can unlock skins, stuff like that, but everything really is purely cosmetic. So really, you can honestly buy this game once, and then literally never spend any money on it if you ever want to.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, because actually that is often a problem with me, but I actually had never had that problem in this game, because that's not a bad point. Because especially like, sure, if all your friends are together, but I've played a lot solo, and you played a lot solo at first because like nobody had it when you first got it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I guess you aren't really working towards anything other than maybe another level, another loot box. But I don't know. There's just something about like I just want to play another game.
Like getting a loot box is fun, but it's never really the purpose of the game.
Yeah, I love loot boxes, and I've spent too much fucking money on those stupid ass things.
Yeah.
But like that's not the point. And what's cool about like, you could have a system where like maybe you unlock more things with a character, you get better with that character. I get why that would be rewarding in a sense of like keep playing, but I'm really glad the game doesn't do that for two reasons. One, when you first get on, you can start any character, and assuming that you can quickly figure them out, you can be good at that character on your first game.
Yeah.
You know, like you could, potentially.
You really could.
And even if you've never played this game before. Because there isn't, like, you know, there's so many games where you start, like, even like, that's a very different kind of game, but like, I was talking about Hearthstone, like, I played that this year. And I'll go up against somebody in Hearthstone and I'll be like, well, I mean, I can be as smart as I want. They have a better deck than me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can try to be as smart as I want. Maybe if I'm the smartest player in the world, I can beat somebody with a better deck. But, like, they have a better deck, so they're going to win. And, like, to me, that's frustrating. And that's why I don't like some games like Call of Duty. Because, like, people can unlock better stuff. And it's like, oh, well, oh, cool, that person killed me, but they're way better. So, like...
And that's another multiplayer games like this. This isn't really a MOBA, but people compare us to a MOBA. So other MOBAs like that too, like if you play League of Legends, that's the same situation. When you pick your characters, the enemy team could have drafted a way better team comp than you did, and you're kind of just stuck in that game for the next 30 minutes,
right.
And you're probably going to get your ass kicked unless you like fucking on it.
So
this game is not like that because you can just literally change your strategy anytime you want to.
So I get why people would say like it'd be rewarding to have a mode that pushes you forward like that. But to me, I think that would be I hate that. That's frustrating.
Yeah,
I hate going up against somebody like I can't.
We've been in games like this before. You can honestly win the game at any point if you just get smart enough. You have a full team that knows what they're doing. You can switch your strategy right away to try and counter the enemy team strategy and still come back from what could have been a defeat.
Yeah.
Like it happens all the time.
And I mean,
that's what's really rewarding and great about this game.
Right. There's still an argument of like, well, sure, but you could still fight a player that's just better because they're level 500. Yeah, of course, but like. If they beat me because they're level 500, it's because their skill is better, not because they have something better unlocked.
No, exactly.
There's a difference between playing a game and being good at it, and playing a game and unlocking stuff that doesn't make you a better player. Like just makes your character better.
Like I appreciate that so much. I think that's why I'm so much more comfortable playing this game, especially by myself. Is when I play League of Legends, there's characters I'm not very good at, or my like reflexes aren't as fast, and I'm not good at last-hitting minions and stuff like that. So sometimes a person's going to get more money than me because they're just better at that. This game doesn't have that, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love that there's no levels, that there's no getting items, you're just always on equal playing field. So it's just like, it's literally, am I better than you, or did I get better?
Yeah, if you lose, it's because you weren't as good as the other person.
And death is so kind of almost, I mean, it's important, but it's almost, they do death in such almost an irrelevant way, where if you die, it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
You come back fairly quick, the walk can be annoying as hell sometimes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, you go back to lane, and you're back again on equal playing field as everybody else. You don't really get punished a whole lot for it, other than you give the enemy team a couple seconds of advantage of you being off the field.
Right.
You know? So for that, it's really, really great. Are you done about that?
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about Overwatch.
I forgot another honorable mention I meant to bring up, and that's Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Oh yeah, that came out.
Man, I really, really like that game. I haven't beat it yet, and I almost like that I haven't beat it yet. Because I feel like so many times I get a Pokemon game, you have this similar cycle of beat the gym people, and you have to keep going on to try and get the newer and cooler Pokemon. This game is just such a relaxed, chill game. That's not really about that. It's not really. The game is way more about here's this new world that we haven't been to before. Just explore it. Just go explore it. You already catch really cool Pokemon right off the bat, so you don't have to feel like you're trying to get to a cool team comp or anything like that. Like I feel like right now I already love my team comp. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I can't wait to get here to catch this Pokemon. Like, I'm just cool. It's just such a more relaxed and chill version of Pokemon. And people kept saying like this is a huge deviation from Pokemon. I kind of gotta agree. It really is pretty different than other Pokemon. It feels super different, and I really, really like it for that. I think they did a good job. I love it.
Yeah, it's funny because like that's all the stuff that I've been wanting out of a Pokemon game forever. Is like, hey, please make a game that's different. But for whatever reason, I just can't. I just don't want to play it. I just don't care. Like I don't know what it's not that I'm like that looks bad. Not like that. I just for whatever reason I'm just like I don't want it. I don't know.
I think what should have happened, and I wish would have happened. X and Y never should have came out, and this should have been.
Yeah, honestly, X and because like Black and White was still riding that Pokemon high. Black and White too. Hell yeah, Pokemon
If Sun and
rules.
Moon came out after Black and White, I think Pokemon would be doing a lot better now.
Yeah, X and Y just kind of like it made me be like I don't need these games anymore. Like and I'm glad this one's doing something different because again, that's what I wanted. But like,
A little
I just
too
think
late.
a little too late. I think X and Y like kind of just killed me on it. And like, you know, in maybe like 2 years, maybe I'll pick this up or the next
Sure.
one or whatever, and be like, I'm ready again. But X and Y maybe go like, because Black and White happened at this time where like they started cranking those games out a little too fast for me,
Yeah.
which also didn't help with the whole like me getting tired of it. Because there used to be, sure, you'd have like the third game or whatever, you know,
Right.
the Crystal or the Platinum, but like those were optional. You didn't need to play those, and I never did. For the most part, main games would be 3 years apart, sometimes 4 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
Between Ruby and Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl was 4 years. Between Diamond and Pearl and Black and White, I think it was 4 years.
Yeah.
And like, sure, you'd have the little remakes or whatever in between, but like it felt like you had so long. But then Black and White was like, okay, Black and White 2, X and Y, and it was just like there were so many. And even though I liked
See,
Black and White,
I was gonna say Black and White
2,
2 was okay because that was the third installment. That's what
Sure.
that was the purpose of that one.
and I
They decided
liked
something
Black and White
different.
2 a lot, but it happened so quick, and I was like, okay, this is fine. And then X and Y happened, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I need another one, but maybe it'll be good. And then it was so bad that I was just like, I'm just burned out.
I
on
remember
these.
being excited when X and Y got announced. I was like, oh my god, we don't have to wait that long for another one. That's so awesome. And boy, that game was a turd.
Yeah.
That game sucked.
No, people love X and Y.
I know, and I don't.
They
get
really,
it.
and that's not one
No,
of
it's
our
not a
jokes.
joke,
Like,
I really
people
don't-
love X
I
and
don't
Y.
get it. I
it
thought that
sucks.
game
It completely sucks.
sucks. Yeah. And I have friends who usually don't agree on these situations, but they're in the same boat too. It's like, yeah, that just wasn't a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Pokemon game. You can play it. but
Sure,
it's
I
just
mean the
not
mechanics
good.
are there, like
Yeah.
it works, and Pokemon games are fun. So on the basic level of
It just
what a Pokemon game is,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not. It's
there.
not. I guess we say it sucks. It
It's
if,
a Pokemon
if
game.
Pokemon game just the regular is a passable 7, then I think it's right there because
Yeah.
it doesn't do anything beyond being a passable Pokemon game. The
Everything
story's
about it was
terrible.
so safe,
The
yeah.
presentation was terrible.
Like, I just don't
the
understand.
new Pokemon were terrible. The new world was terrible.
Yeah, I just don't understand how you follow up Black and White with that. Who was okay with that? Nothing
Yeah.
about that story was compelling. It almost like they tried really hard to make a story there, but they didn't actually think about writing. Because the story doesn't make fucking sense.
No.
It really doesn't make any sense at all.
And I know people are like, well, yeah, but it's a kid's game. But guys, you don't understand. Black and White finally changed that. It finally was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to make something good here.
Yeah, kids can understand heavy topics too.
That's a good point, too, is like when people are like, oh, it's a kid's game or whatever. It's just like, well, sure, but like, do you want, I mean, kids like, you know, when I was a kid, my favorite thing was Star Wars.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to be like, Empire Strikes Back, that's for kids.
Kids, yeah,
No,
exactly.
it's for fucking everybody.
Yeah, quit treating kids like kids. Kids can handle shit. Like,
Yeah.
That's just so stupid.
I think our memory card's about to run out.
Again?
Yeah, but we can wrap this up.
All right.
What else we got to say? So, actual worst thing of 2016 was Pokemon X and Y.
Yeah, that go 2016.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
We just shit talked it for a while. So, actual worst thing was Pokemon.
Yeah.
X and
So
Y.
I mean, if you're into Pokemon, you got the game by now. If you're not into it, you're not gonna get it now. It's the same one of those scenarios.
Yeah,
So, I guess the only thing left is best smell of 2016.
best smell of 2016. I think we have to grab the other memory card for this one, guys.
All right.
So hold on for one more commercial break, and we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. And we're back.
Welcome back.
Now for our final category, the best smell of 2016.
Yellow.
Hey man, what was the best smell of 2016?
The best smell of 2016?
Yeah.
No, not my butthole. I'm gonna say blueberry.
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 Cool. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. Later.
Bye.
So you heard it here
Yeah.
first.
Blueberry.
Blueberry was the best smell. Runner up, a butthole.
So, thanks for
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Agree
What
or
was-
disagree. Let us know in the
What
comments
was your
below.
favorite thing of 2016? Leave it in the comments. Was it PewDiePie deleting his YouTube channel?
Mhm.
Was it what were the best things that we didn't mention? That's one.
Mhm.
It might be the only one.
Might be the only one we didn't mention.
I'm trying to think of what else happened in the news this year. We already covered the election. We covered Harambe.
We did.
Those are like the big things.
We did.
Bill Murray died.
Bill Murray did die.
Um,
Shit.
Tom Hanks died.
Mel Gibson's still a racist. That was kind of a bummer.
And he died.
And he died.
He died as he lived, a racist.
That's a bad joke.
All right, guys, we're gonna go now. This is our last video of the year.
Because we're gonna die too.
Because we're gonna die too. 2016 was so bad we refused to leave it alive. But somebody else is gonna be here making a new funny series in 2017. More details on that coming soon. We're hard at work on it, and it's actually gonna be good. Maybe.
Maybe.
And then I think I'm gonna do. I've been doing monthly videos, like one video a month. They've just been weird things. Next month, I think I'm actually gonna do like a legitimate video. I'm really excited for it. I'll probably do it. Look forward to that. In the meantime, have a happy holidays. I'd say Merry Christmas, but I don't want to exclude all the people that don't celebrate Christmas, like Mel Gibson.
Oh, yeah, dude, we're starting war on Santa Claus.
Mel Gibson does celebrate Christmas. He doesn't celebrate Hanukkah
Yeah, probably not.
because he hates Jewish people,
And black people.
and so he doesn't celebrate Kwanzaa either. So he definitely celebrates Christmas.
Does anybody
So,
really celebrate Kwanzaa, though? Let's be honest. I don't think it actually celebrates that.
well, certainly not Mel Gibson.
Definitely not Mel Gibson.
So happy holidays to everybody except Mel Gibson. Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year. And
Can't wait for 2017. I'm so over 2016.
yeah, we're over 2016. What's our New Year's resolutions?
New Year's resolutions. That's a good one. We thought we were done, but we're not.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing about a new year is, even though dates are a human construct,
Dates are hard. Like,
well, even though they're like a made up thing,
Like,
you know, they're based on like
do I have food
the
on my
Earth-
face? Does she have food in her face?
Well, sure.
It's hard.
Even though they're based on like the Earth rotating, it's essentially something we made up to keep track of time. It's a made up human construct, but despite
Sort of. I agree and disagree with that statement.
well, I'm just gonna say that like people are always like, it's a new year, so that means I can start over and things are gonna be different for me, and it's like no, because time is made up. Like we it's something we just use. Like it's not like because it's January 1st, your life's gonna get better. All the people are like 2016 sucks, 2017's got to be better. 2016, it's all irrelevant. It doesn't.
That's what I'm gonna agree with that statement. I mean, hey, you guys said 2015 sucked and 2016 would be better, and it wasn't. You just gotta learn. Every year's gonna suck.
Yeah, well
It's
that.
never gonna
But
be
it also
good
doesn't
again.
matter. It's not like the year turns over and it's like, whew, everything
only
that happened
time-
is gone.
well, only
No,
time-
it just happened.
The
It
only
still
time we're
just
gonna have a
happened.
good year is like if all of a sudden like everybody comes back to life instead of dies. And that's not gonna happen. So
Zombie apocalypse. Every show's predicted it. It's funny because like, oh man. I guess Mega 64 sort of did a skit like this. Not really with zombies, but I just think it'd be a funny. Like zombies are so like tired in like movies and stuff. It'd be funny if like a real zombie apocalypse happens, but there's one dude he's just so over zombies. He just won't accept it. He's like, I'm fucking over it.
we're over it.
So check out that funny comedy sketch we're gonna be doing next year. The guy who's over zombies is what it's gonna be called. Anyways, New Year's resolution.
That was oh yeah, I forgot we did do that.
I'm gonna throw out the eggnog that I have in the fridge from last year.
yeah, that's a good one.
I have eggnog from 2015, and I'm gonna throw it out before 2017.
My New Year's resolution is to.
Kiss a girl for the first time.
God, that was really what I was gonna say.
Still
I was
haven't
really
done.
gonna kiss a girl.
We're still both.
I want to find a girl.
We're still both lip virgins. Is that a term you think anybody
Hey,
uses?
the rats may be wet, but our lips are dry.
Yeah.
So we're certified dry right now.
We're
Our
both
lips are
certified
certified
dry.
Gotta use that Burt's Bees on my lips.
Yeah. Well, you want the girl to put the Burt's Bees on her lips, and then you kiss it, and then it
Both
transfers.
oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Right. I had a dream where that happened once.
So hopefully I get to kiss a girl.
Yeah. Hopefully.
And hopefully I like it.
Right. Because you might not.
I might not like it.
Goodbye, guys. Nobody's watching this anymore. There's definitely nobody watching.
Yeah, that outro was way too
Hey,
long.
if anybody is fucking watching this right now, actually leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment that says turts.
Turts. You can. Spelling is up to you.
So it's up to you.
Turts. Turts 2016.
Yeah, Turts 2016.
And here's to a very Turts 2017. See you guys in the new year.
Catch you later.